Hello, guys. So I know there's still like 3 minutes left before the class is supposed to start, but I'm just going to actually turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone. Cool. Yeah, but I thought I'd just come on. I've got it in my hair, but if you can bring for this class a hair tie, if you don't have one, you can just take notes and we can do the hair tie. You can do the hair tie exercise like later or tomorrow. So don't worry if you haven't got one. And something like with some weights, so I'm going to use my banana grams and we're just going to use it later just to show a little exercise on strengthening your wrists. So if you don't want to hold too much weight, then just, I don't know, really put like a tiny plant pot will do, or a can of beans. And if a can of beans is too heavy, maybe something not so heavy. So if you need to pause the video and just go and kind of look for stuff around the house that you can hold, just something that you can hold in your palms. Cool. So I'm just going to keep this running and leave it for another 2 minutes. For those that are here already, if you have any particular questions, please pop them in the chat. I hope you guys are all okay. Today we'll be going through variation in a sun salutation that you can do. I'm sure for you guys with wrist pain or weaker wrists, maybe you've got arthritis, a carpal tunnel. Doing a sun salutation, especially in a vinyasa class, is super fast. and you know, I'm going to give you some alternatives that you can do aside from the typical putting the fists down, which can still be quite weight bearing on your wrists. What other options normally, or you know, the fingertips. And we're going to try a forearms version and also a different one. And then we're going to talk about how to stretch the wrists. So whenever, or actually, you know, if you have quite severe pain or more pain, if you feel you need to stretch them more, then maybe do that section as often as you can, even little snippets of them. And also how to strengthen your wrists, maybe once the pain starts easing a little bit. Okay. I'm going to leave this running. Again, if you've got any questions already, please pop them on. Okay, just checking the time there. It's 12. So at any point, if anything goes funny, like you stop hearing me, please let me know. I'll keep an eye on the computer over there with the chat going on. Cool. So let's begin. Like I said, today we're going to talk about alternatives to sun salutation that you can do, and also how to strengthen and stretch your wrists. So let's just begin with a nice simple mudra. That's a nice wrist stretcher. Just bringing your palms together and then just pulling the palms down. Try not to ram anything too much. Just giving it a nice gentle stretch downwards. And really see actually if you can straighten up the thumbs as well. And so if this causes, you know, any part of the palm to sort of ply open again, maybe put it a little higher and try and keep your whole palm and your fingers flat to each other as you're pulling the palms down. It's a great one just to start to stretch out the wrists. Okay, and then just release them off and give them a little bit of a shake. So through the whole class, through this half an hour, the chat will be on. If you have anything you want to ask me, please pop it on and I'll keep checking it. I'm just going to have a fiddle with my battery cable. My screen's doing something weird, so let's hope this will be fine throughout. Okay, so let's go through a variation of a sun salutation together. Like I said, we're going to go through 2 different ones and you can maybe play with which one you prefer. So let's all come to the top of our mats and bring the hands down into the side. And already at this point, it's quite helpful if you peel the fingers away from each other nice and wide and start to turn the palms so they face forward. And this is a really nice stretch for the whole of the palm, all the fingers, and also for the wrists and kind of all the muscles and fascia all the way up the arm. Okay, so that's kind of a really nice start. I'm going to try and bring as much awareness as we can to like every little motion that we're doing to encourage mobility really throughout the whole body, but through the wrists today. Okay, so let's play with a variation you can do. On the inhale, we're going to bring the hands up. And a similar thing, no weight on the hands yet. Exhaling, let's fold down. Bring the hands onto the floor on fingertips or on the shins and just lengthen the chest out. So far, all the same. So let's play with a forearm variation for this for now. Bend the knees, come onto your forearms, and I want you to, instead of placing the palms flat down on the mat, we're sort of going to go here and using this contact point of the wrists all the way up the arm as the main contact point rather than forcing the wrist to do anything at all. Keeping the wrist really loose in front of you and just stepping your feet back into a forearm plank. And the weight here is a little bit more closer to my elbow rather than the palms at all. You should be able to just flick your palms all the way up. Okay, and then lowering all the way down to the belly. You can widen the elbows if you need to, widen the hands, and then encourage the shoulder blades to glide down the back as you pull the chest forward. Imagine you're trying to pull the lower ribs forward. Okay, and from here again, keep the palms really loose. A little bit more on the forearms that we're pushing back on, coming into your dolphin dog. So feel free to take any, however wide your feet need to be, or bend the knees. And even though it's a little harder, just trying to push into the hips a little more. So this is slightly harder, I think anyway, than a regular downward facing dog. And still really keeping your fingers quite loose. Okay, looking to the front, you can try and step your feet just halfway. And then from a kind of a squat position, coming into lengthening the chest forward. And then forward fold. And then all the way up. And then hands to the side. And smear those fingers and palms open. Okay, we're going to go and try that again. Nice. Folding. Lengthen. And then forearms down. Lower. Inhaling chest forward. And then take it back. So an option for this as well, if this is too much on your shoulders and your armpits, you can always come down into child's pose. And we're really, with these variations of our sun salutation, we're just keeping in mind how we're moving every inhalation with an upward forward motion, every exhalation with a downward, slightly folded, not collapsed, folded movement. So let's hang here or in child's pose for just a few breaths. And you'll be limited a little by this position of your arms. So to not step so far forward, just come a little bit halfway. You can squat down, working into stretching the chest forward, dropping down into a fold, and then reaching the hands up. And exhale, hands to the side. Let's try that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, coming down to the belly. Inhale, cobra or sphinx. Exhale, take it back. 1. And again, you can stay in child's or bend the knees. 2, to encourage maybe your armpits to go a little long. 3. 4. 5. Step into a squat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms forward, hands to the side. And so over time, with the hands down, when you come nearer to the floor to do your exhale to lower to the belly, over time, I think you can slowly start to bring the palms flat on the floor. So for now, we're going with this version just to keep this with no pressure. So this will be up to you depending, how your hand's feeling. You could also start creating more structure with the hands sort of like this, quite loose on the floor, by putting your hands in fists. So then you'll get a little bit more surface area. This requires, you really don't want any pain in your wrists, with whichever motion that you pick. And then eventually, once maybe this all feels a little strengthened and stretched a little more, like this area of your wrist, then maybe you can play with the palms down, right? This is also a nice stretch, but it's not one I would recommend if you're already in pain. So that is one version of a variation on a sun salutation that we could do. We're going to look at a different one that looks a little bit way different than what we did, right? Because that is the most typical ones, I guess, to still kind of bear weight on the hands and the arms. So we're going to look at one where we really don't bear weight on it whatsoever. So join me again at the top of the mat. We're going to start the same way, inhaling to reach up, exhaling, same thing, full, inhaling, chest forward. Okay, now we're going to crumple all the way down. Take extra breaths. Obviously, don't hold your breath. Coming all the way down. Now we're going to cross the ankles and to exhale as we compress. Okay, extra breaths. Legs back, legs out. Lie down, palms down. Inhaling. Like cobra, upward dog. We're going to do Matsyasana, fish pose instead. And then exhaling, we're going to go back to compress. And this is like the downward dog. We do this for 5 pulses. 1, 2. So compress those knees in. Every exhale. 4, 5. Okay, to the front. Inhaling, squat, lengthen. Exhaling, full. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, hands to the side, palms to face forward. Let's go again. Inhaling up. Exhaling, full. Inhaling, chest forward, and get ready. Exhaling, knees in. And you can even bring the arms back behind you like you're doing a chaturanga, okay? Then inhaling, fish pose. Exhaling, squeeze. 1, 2, 3. So inhale, legs out. 4, exhale, squeeze. 5, inhaling, chest forward. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reach on up. Exhale, hands to the side. A little different, so let's try it again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chest forward. Get ready. Exhale, compress it in. Inhale, fish pose. Exhale, squeeze it. 1, 2, it's also great for balancing. 3, working on the breath and the core. 4, 5, inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach on up. Exhaling and hands to the side. Let's try one more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the chest. Exhale, let's go. Compress the knees in. Inhale, lengthen, open the chest. Exhale, compress. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and really spread the fingers. 5. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach on up. Exhaling, and hands to the side. Nice. So if you've got a little notebook with you, feel free to maybe jot these down. Or I'm probably going to make this video public so you can keep referring back to it. And so that's kind of a nice different option of doing a sun salutation that builds quite a lot of heat and also doesn't tax out the shoulders and doesn't require really any wrist effort, but it'll still, give you that nice heat, that dynamism that you might be looking for. Maybe taking extra breaths as you lie down to go into fish pose. But other than that, we're still trying to keep the sensation of inhaling to open to move up or move away, and exhaling a compression or folding down. I particularly quite enjoy that version because it is so much of yoga is indeed on the wrists. Okay, so we're going to move into some wrist stretching and strengthening. So let's just start with stretching. You can really just sit however you like, and we're playing with the position of our fingers on the mat. Okay, using kind of the traction from your grippy mat to stretch out your fingers. So as we move, like we were doing those little Navasana compresses before for the substitute for downward dog, really encourage for you to straighten and open the fingers as wide as you can. But a nice way to kind of feel that a little bit more is with the mat. So popping your pinky finger down first. You can do one hand at a time or both at the same time. Let's say this is my mat. I'm going to try to smear the fingers as much as possible open. And paying attention, once you do that, after you put your palm down, can your thumb remain straight? We're going to try our best to straighten the thumb. And maybe for some of you, sort of kind of holding here, not putting too much weight forward, but just enjoying this stretch might feel quite good. Start to feel if your knuckles are curling up, and try to literally seal and suction your whole palm and all the fingers like onto the mat, really squashing it down. Okay, this can be quite a nice reliever. And really squeezing those knuckles down. And so if you've got a book, really make some notes if you find any of this quite useful, or maybe if you think you might not remember all of it. Nice, and releasing, we just shake it off. Another one that we did in the beginning is the same, the palms in prayer, everything nice and straight, and then seeing how far you can pull it down without anything opening, without the thumb curling in, and just stretching out the forearms. So sometimes our arms, our wrists can hurt if all this is really tight as well. So this is just quite a gentle and effective way to stretch out this whole section of your hand. Okay, holding there for a few breaths. I'm just going to consult my notes, what I wrote earlier. Then release the hands, give it a little shake. And this is quite a nice way as well. Just literally hands either at the top to flick out. Or if that feels too much on your forearms, you can just take it up about chest height and just start flicking out. Again, just kind of working to mobilize your hands. I don't know if a lot of you also get tennis elbow from playing tennis or working with a mouse too much. And all this stuff is really, 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 really useful. Okay, if you're writing them, write them down. Now shake off the hands. Now bringing the palms to the front. I'm going to face this way. And then taking your other hand to gently, encourage the fingers to move back. And you'll find actually quite naturally when you do this, your thumb will curl. So we'll address him in a second. Don't worry about your thumb curling. And again, a really great one for your forearms. Anyone even if you're here and you kind of only get just really tight arms from your other activities, or maybe doing too many arm balances, all this stuff is super helpful for longevity of our wrists. So again, let this thumb curl, it's okay. Moving on to the second hand. And now we're going to do each finger at a time. Okay, so again, please don't do it too hard. I'm just working through each finger. And now we get to work on the thumb. And if you can, keep your arms straight as you do this. So when you're done, move on to the other hand. And a bit longer on the thumb. Okay, now bring the hands out to reach out and try and straighten the fingers while you pull the fingers back, now without help of your hands. And you'll really notice which is the more, maybe the arm you use the most. So for me, my third and fourth finger on the right hand really finds it difficult to straighten, and I can't pull it back so much. It probably needs a bit more attention there. Okay, and now bringing the fingers to face down. And while you keep the arm straight as the fingers face down, try and make a fist. Okay, release the fist, pull the fingers up, push through the arms so they're straight, fingers down, making a fist. One more time, all the way up. Point it down, make a fist, keep the fist, and we're going to roll them in so the thumbs roll into each other. Release the hands, fingers up, fingers down, make a fist, and roll the thumbs now the other way from each other. And again, you'll really notice which is your dominant hand, maybe the one you use the most, the stiffest one that's more difficult. And these are really nice to really stretch out the whole fingers, wrists, forearms. Okay, now reaching the hands forward. Feel free to, by the way, give them a shake. Your shoulders might be a bit tired now. All right, and taking the hands kind of in this way. Right, so pointing fingers forward, pulling the pointer fingers together, and then forward. Just make sure you can see. Yeah, there you go. And then take them away from each other. Again, repeating this. And then shake it off. This is quite nice also to just take the hands this way, give the wrists a little bit of relief, like simple relief. And palms facing up, we're going to do the same thing. Boop, together, and that way. Yeah, and that way. Nice, give them a shake. And then place them at the side of your waist. Again, a little bit of a break. Okay, so we're going to move quickly to some strengthening exercises. We've got 10 minutes to do them, which is perfect. So obviously do the ones that we've just done, if you could do them in more reps, if you found them useful, do them every day if you can, if you found that they gave you some relief in your wrists. The more you start mobilizing your hands and not just kind of hammering through pain, it will really make a difference. So you have to, it's like physio, you've just got to keep doing it and don't give up on doing it. I know they're a bit more boring than flowing around your yoga mat, but it's really vital that you look after yourself. Again, when you've got to slow it down, you got to slow it down. I know, again, like with the sciatic pain and low back pain, it's not the easiest thing to hear, but good for you. Okay, strengthening. So I would only recommend this if you have no wrist pain, okay? At any point, if any of these things cause you any pain, any sharp shooting pain or pain the next day or the next hour, please take them out and go back to something that doesn't give you pain. So the strengthening part isn't for everyone. For those that have really bad pain, maybe wait and just do the stretching, change up your sun salutations, which the stuff we did there can really be taken into how you could approach other postures in your practice. If you're not sure, just send us an email or message us somewhere on the Instagram or Facebook, and we'll kind of expand on that if you want us to. So only doing the strengthening when your wrists feel ready for strengthening. Okay, so I'm gonna take the hair tie that I've got. Now you just want something quite bouncy. I hope this works. It may not work with this particular one. You're going to put it around your fingers. You might need something a bit fatter. Okay, and yes, tricky. So you might need to hold it down so it doesn't just snap back on your wrist. But you're aiming to just stretch out your fingers against the resistance of your, I'm going to try and do it so you can see, there you go, here, of your elastic band. Now you don't have to go all the way open, right? But little reps, they're like little push-ups for your hands and your wrist that will still be helpful. Now, if you just did them, not even to their max in like, so let's say 10 in a row, it's pretty quite a lot for even my wrists. So my right hand is more dominant. So maybe you want to do more reps on the hand that is slightly weaker. Again, you're only going to do these strengthening exercises once you have no wrist pain or very, very minimal wrist pain, and you feel your own discretion that you're ready to strengthen the wrists. Okay, so that's quite a good one. And again, you can really just do this mindlessly. Keep an elastic band in your pocket, when you're on the phone, or if you've got your other hand spare, playing and using your simple elastic band, right? A little bit every day, even while you're sort of cooking with one hand, get the other hand involved, strengthening up your wrists. Okay. Another little thing is the flicking motion again. So we're going to use this hand position like a bird, and they can again be anywhere, but I encourage you to stretch out. And again, we're doing these in reps, so maybe you can go a little quicker, right? Fingers together and then stretch. And again, they seem quite like doable, quite easy if you just do the first few, but once you keep them going, I'm feeling it right now, so maybe you guys are too, really in the wrists as you're doing this, also up the forearms. Okay, give them a shake for a break. And so maybe you decide how many reps you want to do of each. That's your limit. And another similar thing in fists, and we're going to do the same thing. Fist, so squeeze the fist and then reach out and kind of flick the fingers. But every time you bring the fingers in, really squeezing your fists tightly. And so again, maybe just choosing how many reps you'd like to do. And then when you're done, give them a shake. It's so small, isn't it? But it's always harder than it seems initially. So give them a good old shake. Another good one to do is tapping. So you can straighten the arms, maybe palms open in front of you, and you're just tapping with your fingers straight, thumbs to the ends of each finger. And again, you can go quite quickly. Try not to bend the fingers too much. You're trying to reach them with your fingers straight. And again, you will probably feel the burn in your wrists, in your forearms quite quickly as well. Trying not to bend the fingers. Or maybe feel the difference if you do. You really want to keep them straight, tapping. Okay, and when you're done, give them a good old shake. And maybe this little trick again, wrists kind of flopping the other way next to your waist. And last few little guys, taking your, I've got my banana grams. You can also grab like a tin of beans or a plant pot, a small one or something. And you're going to choose a weight that works for whatever your situation is with your hands. Okay, so let's do banana grams facing down, which is a great game, by the way. Okay, out in front of you, and simply I'm going to face this way so you can see from the side. We're just going to pull them up and flat, up and flat, up and flat. And again, this might feel like it's not really doing anything, but the point of these is to slowly build the strength and doing them in reps. Like even, if we do stuff with weights, light weights, doing them in reps kind of is a nice slow progression, and also starts to get pretty difficult in a second. Okay, so let's change hands when you're ready. And again, maybe if you know as well, one hand is much more dominant and it's just generally already stronger, maybe you want to do a little bit more on the other hand. Okay, changing again to the other hand, this time palm facing down. Have we done that one? Oh yeah, we've done that. So banana grams facing up, sorry. We're gonna curl, try and keep the arms straight. Curl the tin or the banana grams or whatever you're holding towards you. Flatten, curl in, flatten, curl in. Not like me, we're gonna try and keep the elbows straight. Ew. And then swapping hands to the left side, banana ground facing up, keeping the elbows straight. Now watch out for those who hyperextend the elbow. We're gonna try and not do that. So maybe use your other hand to keep your arm in check. And so again, like a reminder, these strengthening exercises is if the pain is kind of dissipated. Okay, if you're in sharp pain, you're gonna work more on stretching them first and mobilizing the wrists. Nice. And just drop them down. And again, I'll make sure I will upload this to the public YouTube channel as well, because I think this in particular is really helpful. A really helpful one to keep doing and keep referring back to. So we're going to end with eagle arms, which is just nice for the whole thing. Okay, so right in front of left or whichever. Just give them a good old twist and see if the palms can slightly come together. Maybe you're holding the hands. Okay. You're going to just let the hands rest on each other. Maybe just push slightly against each other. And maybe bringing the hands slightly forward. That's it, just a little bit. And release. Let's twizzle them the other way. Give them a shake. And just gently kind of pressing, let's say the palms don't touch, but the fingers against the palms against the fingers. And maybe if you're holding, just give them a good old, hug. Left to right hand hug. And then drawing the hand away from you slightly. Nice. Release. And then give it all a good shake. Palms together. Let's do that first one again. Stretching everything out. And then just gently pulling them down. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you found that helpful. I'm just going to time check for my next class. Yep. I hope you find that helpful. If you need to, pause it and definitely take more time. Or even once you've done the stretching, maybe don't call that a day. Rewind back to the stretching bit or go back to the front part of your notes of the stretching part and do them again. So it's really helpful to do them and see them as sets that maybe you can repeat and repeat and repeat. Cool. Thank you for joining. I'm just going to jump onto the Ashtanga with breathwork class now. I'll join you next week. Oh, I can't remember what the topic was. Oh, I'll put it on the Instagram though, and it'll be on the Facebook as well, and on the title. What was it? Hips. Yes, we're going to work with hips next week. I think that's it. Let me get back to you. Okay, bye. Thank you for joining. Oh, thanks, Felicia. Bye, everyone.